Reco- Yeah.
What up, y'all? What up? We are here for what did you call it? Astro Musings Part 2?
Oh, it should have been Astro Musings.
I mean, technically, I mean we could go back and, modify, how it goes.
Listen, I'm teachable moments. Okay.
Basically.
No, black people, you may have a name, but we're gonna call you what we're gonna call you. That is this episode. Okay.
Especially if we like the name that your mama gave you.
Yes, especially. Because if your mama gave you a name, I'm gonna call you by that name.
Okay. Okay, so what you was saying, I was like, yes, hair.
Yes, the Creole witch strikes again. Okay, strikes again. If you haven't been influenced.
Are you sacred?
Yes, it was,
Oh.
what was it? For the holidays, it was like a sale on the kits.
Oh, okay.
And it's like the travel size kits. Cause I was like,
Mm-hmm.
listen, then
Mm-hmm.
full
Mm-hmm.
size is an investment.
Mm-hmm.
But I could do a travel size. And so I got two different travel sizes, one for my mom, one for me. I did take some of her stuff though, because I was like, I don't know if you know what you're doing here. So this for your head, this for mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been getting a lot of like the dermatitis and things. And so I use
Mm-hmm.
this is not a, what is it? This is not a promo, but if
It's not sponsored.
he so desires to promo this, to holla at us.
Listen,
We're more than open. But she has like a scalp, um
treatment, shampoo, or
it's a
scrub.
shampoo, but it's like for the scalp. It has like little things in there, so you get a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Does say she have like the nozzles?
Um, it not the little ones though, not the little ones. So it has like little beads and stuff in there. That's what
Oh,
a
okay.
scrub,
Okay.
scalp scrub. I got words. I just,
Yeah. Yeah. I most definitely like washed my hair today, but I didn't deep condition. And I'm a high porosity color treated girl, so you need deep condition. But I didn't. I like washed, deep conditioned, put in my staple leave-in. And
Mm-hmm.
my hair was like, this is actually what we wanted. We want a lot. And I'm like, girl, the curls are curling.
Hey,
Like,
we're doing the thing.
I mean, did I stretch it out? Yeah, because I immediately as it started to dry, put in a ponytail. But
Mm, mm,
it
mm.
still is like, especially because
Given.
I did not. I'm now starting to realize how much my hair has grown, and now I
Mm-hmm.
have the itch to like cut it. Have the itch to cut it, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna stay strong. We get it. We're gonna. So now I'm like getting used to it at this length,
Mm,
curly, because it means it's like it's drooping. It's not as like it done lost some shape, but I can't like cut too much or it's gonna lose length. It just had
yeah.
this weird point. People, other Kiki Coily curly girls who know once you get to a certain length, twist outs, braid outs, perm rod sets, wash and
Yeah.
goes. That's it. That's it. Once you get to a certain length, friend, I don't care. Anybody, any texture will tell you once you get to a certain length, twist outs, braid outs, perm rod sets, wash and go. That's all you can. All that extra I could do. Your hair ain't gonna want to do all that once you get to a certain length, and my hair is getting to that length. I'm like, okay, girl. So I think if my hair was shorter, I would
Mm,
try Sacred, but that's a lot of product.
I get it. Because
So I'm
even
gonna
I
stick with my
like,
staples.
ooh, I got a quarter here. I got a quarter. We ain't passing the quarter, sis. We gotta figure it out. You know, I did a little 50 cent up in each part of the head because this don't
Hmm.
look like a lot, but
Yeah, you got thick hair.
yeah.
See, I'm a lower density girl. I'm fine here. So if I was to put my hair against some light, it shine through. So I just we're not gonna do that. We're
Yeah.
not gonna do that.
It's like, what son? What son?
Girl,
orb.
girl, I used to like complain about that, but then I didn't. Because I was like, you know what? I'm not about to do all that. I've done hair this big, and I'm like, you know what? If that was on my head, no. And at my length, no. So, but we yapping about sacred. And you know, I thought you was gonna say something about your color because you said they Creole witch, and you know it's a little blonde. It's more blonde now, so I
Just
thought
a
you were gonna.
little bit, and it's also like clearing out a little bit more of the color that I did have
Mm-hmm.
as I keep washing it. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's getting interesting. I like how it's forming and how it's doing its own thing. But this is
Mm-hmm.
the curliest I've ever had my curls do without like putting too much. I literally
Mm-hmm.
washed my hair with two shampoos and conditioner. That's it. I put oil on my scalp and that's it. I ain't touch it.
A good wash and go. A good
And
wash and
I'm
go.
like, oh, like you actually look like this for real. This is amazing. I don't gotta do nothing. This is just my hair is happy right now.
No, I really thought you was going to the blonde sector, like Leo, Virgo, whatever thing. I thought it was going.
Listen, hair and placements are okay. I know like 50, 11 Leo moons. I am one, and we all end up talking about hair. Us. My cousin, hey, check the haircut out. And we be talking about his hair because he got multiple textures. Okay.
I mean,
So
same.
Leos and hair, it's important. If you're feeling your hair, you are feeling yourself. It is an extension of you.
Listen, and you know, we're right at, you know, those of us who experience all four seasons in the United States, we're at the week of like fake spring until we go back to winter and then it's spring.
Mhm.
And so like we're in the middle right now, it's fake spring. Like I think it's like 70. I think the high today was like 73, 74. So I'm like, oh my God, like open up the window, let the wind come through, let the sun touch your
I'm here
scalp.
like a video vixen.
You
Yeah.
listen, put on A. Marie, Why Don't We Fall in Love? Some Janet, her pop era. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that's what I've been listening to, like Janet in her pop era. I'm like, listen, like this is me. Like
Speaking, I see you.
I'm
Okay.
like, okay. And then I looked at the temperatures for next week, it drops back down to the 40s. I'm like, exactly. You cannot trick me. I already know. It's the fake spring right now. It's
And not
fine.
trick me. Yes.
Okay.
So let's talk. Blonde, color of the sun. You look good in gold, right?
Mhm.
What misconceptions about Leo?
We talked
About Leo.
about Aquarius, Leo, Gemini, Scorpio, and Virgo last time. We talked a little bit, we didn't talk too much about Pisces, but
So we gotta talk about Pisces. It is
we gotta talk,
that.
yeah, and we gotta talk about Aries since we're gonna be heading
Oh
to
yeah,
Aries
let's
season.
go into the sister signs. So misconceptions about Pisces. I don't see a lot of Pisces hate on the social media,
Really?
but it might just be the way my algorithm is, right? So what do you see?
Baby, they be on Pisces. What they in particular, Pisces men,
I mean, the
right?
first astrological sign is a man. So like,
And I think because people have had bad relationships with them, it's interesting because I see people say like they're flighty,
hmm,
lacking commitment, which is crazy. But I think when most Pisces men I see or I've come in contact with, I think they're just like trying to figure things out. If they don't have any earth signs at the big three,
hmm, baby.
they be in their own world, right? And
Yeah.
I do feel as though Pisceans, like as a person who has a Pisces moon, escapism is a problem. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
so I will say that, and I think that's where it comes from, like flighty, you know, non-committal, not being actually in the relationship. I can see where that comes from because you're in your
Mhm.
head like the daydreams, and like it's gonna be part of your day. To be honest.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, as someone who has encountered way too many Pisces placements, I have encountered the people who seem flighty, right? The people who like really want to be there, but like the vibes are not there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, listen, beautiful gowns, wonderful gowns, but I can't come to the party. And so there have been some that do disappear, but it's not really about us. It's they have no idea you even are there waiting, to be quite honest. Pisces. Let's just break down the actuality of Pisces. And Pisces is a water sign or in the ethers. The waters are ethereal. So they're going with intuitive flow. It might feel right now. It might not tomorrow. Feel and in their feelings tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't feel comfortable being both sets of fish, right? The
Mm-hmm.
emotional, the ethereal, the fantastical, then they're not going to be there. And that's just the facts.
One of the things I was trying to explain to somebody as a Pisces moon, they're like, we were talking about dating and everything. And I was like, and even when it comes to like friendships, like platonic friendships, I was like, I know the person based off energy. They're like, what type of man do you want? I was like, listen, I cannot explain to you, but I know when I see them. I know
Yeah.
when I feel them. It's a confidence, a thing you have to exude. It's just you have just be. And I
Mhm.
think that's what Pisceans like they just are,
Yeah.
right? And that's how you have to accept them. Um and but I was like I don't think people I think people take Pisces, people, especially Pisces sons for granted because they're really actually really loving people.
Mhm.
Um Very much so, very loving people. It's very interesting because like some people was like if Aries is the baby of the sign, Pisces is the elder of the signs. And so I think that comes from if they're able to catch the wisdom that they're supposed to catch
Yeah.
and apply.
Mhm.
But all Pisceans don't necessarily do that. It really depends on what others the
Got
other
going
signs
on.
are. But I think they just get a bad rep, and it's mostly in the romantic space because I was like, I don't really hear anybody complain about Pisces people in the friendship or familial space. So whatever there, and maybe it's not. I wonder, is there like a projection thing happening with
Yeah.
Pisces have like fantasized who you are so much, then as you start to show who you really are, they're like,
Like,
this is not
oh,
the vibe.
this is not what I signed up
And
for.
maybe that's the downfall. Like,
Okay, that is the downfall. I think I almost married a Pisces, so I have a little bit of research that I have done, and I have been very close friends with a good amount of Pisces people. So the thing about relationship wise, since everybody's like, oh, it's the word manipulative, they live in the 12th house of the subconscious, baby. Like, biology created it, right? So, and I internet a little unable. I'm fighting it, so bear with me. Um, but relationship wise, I think the true question is, can you reach ethereal depths with me? Do you want to? Do you want to build this fantasy together and live in it? And when they encounter somebody who in the beginning kind of is like, oh, yes, okay, like we can build these sandcastles together, right? And then someone's like, well, where are we finna put the door in the sandcastle? Like, is there gonna be lights
mhm,
in the sandcastle? It's like you adding a little too much reality into my stuff. But also, can you get out of your mind and get into your intuitive feeling with me?
Mhm.
Can you be vulnerable with me?
Mhm.
Because I want to be vulnerable with you. Do you respect my ability to be vulnerable and not take it as a form of weakness or criticize it or whatever it is, right? The, oh, you're just too sensitive. Don't do. And what happens is that uh, the clouds start clearing up. And
I was just
before
about to say.
this isn't this like our case, reach a higher spiritual with you. I can't connect with you on a telepathic, like we're not an intuitive match. And so I gotta go. And that is
I,
really the vibe that I've gotten.
yeah, I think when I see a Pisces person be hurt, they lean into their sister
Bad.
sign, a Virgo, and instead of the in-depth vulnerability, they're gonna treat things like a transaction, like a acts of service transaction versus like the emotional depth you would have get
Mm-hmm.
with them at 100%. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's been interesting to witness with the people who have Pisces placements around me, including myself, right? Like it's been interesting to look back and investigate how I was with things in the past, and I'm just like,
And
okay, my antennas.
I'll raise you one. In Virgo and by somebody a over.
Oh, you breaking up. Oh no.
Hello.
Okay, I hear you now. I thought you said
I'm like, we're gonna get to singing and see what happens.
okay, now I hear you nice and clear.
Okay, so the biggest thing is when Pisces gets to overworking, overthinking all the ways that they could have whatever. Um, Definitely transactional, but you see an overworking Pisces who's like running through people, that person is hurt and they are not dealing with their pain. They're
Listen,
running away from it.
and Pisces will run. They will run.
They will run. They will run. They will go into addictions. They prefer their addiction to be love.
Mm,
When that doesn't work,
that Neptune that oversees them comes in
and
addictions and substance use and all of
yeah,
that. Trust I know.
yep, yep.
So, yeah, I think, that, and maybe y'all let us know in the comments. Let us know if that's how you view Pisces for real. Maybe you got a new understanding.
Perhaps Pisces that are don't the people that you really of are not the signs that you think.
Hmm.
Pisces is crazy.
I don't know. I don't know any water sign that would not end your life,
The end.
to
The
be
end.
honest.
The
To be
end.
honest, you
The
know?
end.
So yeah. But we have it's fun I find it funny that we're having all these problems technologically, and Mercury retrograde is right around the corner. It's in Aries. So we might as well talk about Aries next. We're about to go to spring season.
Mhm.
People do not like Aries. I'm like, why not? And I guess because I'm a Gemini, right? Like
I
I fool with the fire signs.
I know why.
So, I will say this. Most of the Aries in my life, they have water moons. So they're either
I'll say
Scorpio
that.
or Pisces moon. I have a close friend who's an Aries sun, but everything else is like in Cancer. Pisces moon, Cancer rising, something. Like, so she mellows out.
Yes, that's the sweet spot.
Yeah,
That's the sweet
because
spot. You know what I mean?
I have met some Aries. They get other fire placements, and I'd be like, you are so emotional. You like sit down. Sit down. You're too grown to be acting like this. And so I get it, but I'm like, not too much on my dogs.
Well, they're not all terrible. It's just, they're not all not terrible. So, I also have Mars in Aries, and I think that's part of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends where you got Aries. And like
Mm-hmm.
where I
Mm-hmm.
have Aries is a dynamic play of power. And so
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times I have encountered um Aries people who are either extractive
Mm.
or in competition. And I'm just like, what are
But
we
that makes sense. But that makes sense. The Robot Mars competition,
what
playfulness at the same time.
sometimes it's not a game. Okay, I ain't playing this
That's
out.
true.
You
That is
know,
true.
so I think is what is important for them to be young, be people, be find your people, not it's your people. Because they're the kid, they're the child. The kids want to play
Mhm.
with everybody. But
But
some of us don't want to play.
yeah, I think so. Like I said, most Aries people around me have water moons, but no
Mm,
matter how you flip it, if they don't have like another Mars rising. So if they're not an Aries rising or Scorpio rising, if I'm sitting next to them, they are going to be the golden retriever and I'm going to be the black cat friend. And so the only other
okay.
Aries that matches my black catness, I think she has a Mars rising. Like, so she either
Mm,
is Aries or Scorpio rising.
mm, mm.
Um, and so we kind of, but she still is also very much so like she's like maybe a poodle,
Okay.
like
Yeah, it's
versus
a
golden retriever.
slightly
And I'm like
stand
the
up
black
to
cat. Yeah.
operate.
So
Okay,
and so it's just so funny because those are the friends I can be like randomly like hit up, like,
let's go do something.
yeah,
And
spontaneous. They can match the Gemini vibe.
what I admire of Aries, you is have a good time with them. If you need somebody to pull up, an Aries will do that. I
Mm,
think we underestimate how deeply Aries can feel and care and like really rock when they really,
mm,
really rock with you, there is no doubt in your mind. When they
mm-hmm.
don't, that's also very clear, you know?
Correct.
So like don't try to force, don't try to prolong. Aries is here for a good time and not always a long time if it's boring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These are your flirts in certain places. This is the person who is busting moves at the party. This is the one you conspire with to make like that random dude who ghosted you jealous. Like this is your person. Okay?
Yeah, and people underestimate them in the workplace because they can be really innovative and creative.
Yes.
And so I think maybe they're just underestimated. Now, I would say a emotionally immature Aries is probably what has made a lot of people dislike them. Because why are you that grown and still acting like that? Like there's nothing processing or
Yeah.
and so I get it, but I'm like, y'all not paying attention closely.
I think for those folks that I have encountered, the biggest thing is they don't like to be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
and they don't like boundaries. Boundaries drive them a little crazy.
That is their problem.
And it's like dishing out something that you can't receive back. And so it's like everything's not mine. Right? Like little child baby, this is not what we're doing. And so, I think there are really great things. They can run a room, they can run, they can be your leaders because they're making new things happen. They can be
Mm-hmm.
your business people that start the spark of the idea as a cardinal sign. That doesn't mean they have the bandwidth to maintain it forever. That's where they need help.
And I think I most definitely resonate with that. I have Aries in the fifth and sixth house. So I most definitely resonate with that. I know people who have Aries midheavens resonate with that. Like, listen, sometimes I'm just here to start it off.
Yep.
Come and maintain it. Like, and so I most definitely agree with that. I wonder how many comedians have like Aries placements.
Ooh, that would be good.
Like, I wonder, is there a thing? Is there certain
Like
placements?
some may have like a Mercury in Aries
Mm-hmm.
where you get
Mm-hmm.
like that slapstick kind of like like offensive
Mm-hmm.
situation. You're like, ooh, but it's still funny. I know,
Mm-hmm.
like again, my cousin, he'll say politically incorrect stuff, but you're also like, God damn, that's funny though. And so I think Aries is underestimated in the wit that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you miss it, you miss the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I was thinking of like projections or things of like growing up. And as I think of the sister sign of Libra, I think many times Aries can rub people the wrong way because they choose to kind of take on life the way they want to take on life. They're forced to either be forced to grow up too fast or to share or never fully full focus on them, so they have had to figure out how to get in a room for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Mm.
as we think about Libra being the diplomatic, and so Aries is not meant for all of that. Like they can play the game, but really and truly, it's about them.
Mm-hmm.
And their
Mm-hmm.
life is to be focused on how they want their life to go. And
I mean, but that makes sense if we think about Aries being the first house of the you as the individual. You're not only like how you look, but the beginning of your personality. So
Mhm.
that it absolutely makes sense.
Mhm.
And then if you switch over to his sister sign, Libra. Now, Libra, I have a bone to pick. Okay.
Go
The
ahead.
way I cannot stand Gemini man and right behind them, a Libra.
Woo!
I and it's the men folk that do it.
You did implement-
And
Well,
and I'm pretty sure it's because I have so many Scorpio placements. I'm like, no. I'm pretty sure. I think Libra, there. Hmm,
we're gonna
how can I?
we're gonna find it, find it.
We're
Mhm.
gonna find it. I I think Libra, especially people with Libra suns, they underestimate themselves.
Ooh, let's go a step further. They underestimate the power that they carry in a room.
Correct. You are the diplomat. You are also the socialite in the same sense. You are the balance of the scales of a diplomat and a socialite. And I think Libra forgets that. Like, oh, I'm an air sign. Yeah, but you're ruled by Venus. Pull it out.
People want to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Mm-hmm.
need people. They need you.
Listen,
You don't have to pretend, play, perform for other people. You just have to exist, and it is enough.
and you know who does that really well? Libra moons.
Ooh. Mm,
Libra moons. I think Libra moons can carry a room easily.
mm,
You know, people are like, oh, they're flirtatious, but they're witty,
mhm.
right? The moon and Mercury and Venus comes together and really gives you charisma.
Yeah.
And so I've seen a lot of dope people who have Libra moons tend to be really dope, can be your philanthropy organizers, your
The best win you'll have.
yeah, that's like I why not have a Libra moon on your team for when you need
Yeah.
to also help and talk with people, you know, and who may know people a little bit more. Them like Taurus, fashion forward. A Libra,
Mhm.
Mercury, Venus, Moon, rising.
Every single time. One thing about a Libra moon or rising fits. Okay, what are you wearing to this event?
Mm-hmm.
What are
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
wearing? Okay, that is the question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, girl, that's all you got? You really gonna wear that? Listen, okay, pay attention to these words and change that outfit. Okay?
Okay. Because you're not about to embarrass me. That's what a
No.
Libra placement would say. You're not about to embarrass me.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
But I think, like I said, I wish they would understand the power that they have because they're and because also later Libras, so October Libras is a bunch of them, right? Because of Valentine's Day and the holidays and
Mm.
everything. But it's just like, why do y'all act like that? You could like you are literally an essence of a batter bitch. I need y'all to act like it. And I think honestly, most times I'm disappointed by the men folk. And I'm like, listen, what are you doing? All that
You don't need
smart,
it.
you're not even using it.
All this, you just sloppy. What are you doing? The gift of gab could be yours, and look at you. Just look at you.
Yeah, it's crazy because what is it? Placidus wise Libra my 11th, but I'm Scorpio rising, so it's like my 12th whole sign.
Mm.
And I have like Juno in Libra. And I'm just like, I understand. I understand, but don't irritate me.
Yeah, I haven't had the best of experiences in general, not even like men, women, in betweens. Like, it's very rare. Even though there are a lot of queer Libras, I will say that
Yes.
if you got certain strong Libra placements, it may have a little sweetness to it, and I ain't gonna hold you. But that
This
is
one
my
got a little sweetness to it.
yes. I'm like, that is my running theory. I haven't been proven wrong yet. Um, but I don't know how Libra I think um what attracts me originally is artistic, interesting, like languages, art, poetry, whatever. And there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to experience.
Hmm.
Bruh. And I would invite them to like kind of really continue embodying and respecting Venus.
Hmm.
It's you don't need 60 women, you just need to really respect the person that you want to be with and value them. If they don't bring you value, right? And if you don't bring them value, y'all wasting each other's time.
Dang it. I thought when you said that it reminded me of the Kofi boy, dark skin.
Terrible.
Yeah, talking about I was like, I bet he's a Libra. Worse, he's a Pisces.
Oh,
Um,
oh, oh.
March 2nd. I now need because like when he said
Yeah.
that, I was
What
like,
Venus and Libra?
or I want to be like, or are you not um doing your artistic value of expanding the type of roles that you book, right? I gotta look up his birth chart. He's a 94 baby. Shout out to the 94 babies. Girl, he has like nothing in Libra. He has a Sun, Saturn, Venus, and Lilith all in Pisces.
Where
A
know his rising?
No, we don't know he's rising. I bet it's a
That
Libra
is the
rising.
problem. That is the problem. Okay, because then we would know which house all of that is living in. Because it could live in the 11th house. All of that stellium could live in the 11th house, which just means a lot of everything.
I and funny enough, Mars, Mercury, Aquarius, Pluto, North. Well, of course, he has a North Node in a Pluto in Scorpio, but a Moon in Scorpio and a Jupiter in Scorpio.
Jail. That's well, if he has a moon in Scorpio, I'm pretty sure he has something specific either in Libra or like either that house is important wherever Libra is on his chart.
Mm-hmm.
But moon in
Scorpio.
living rising, I'm the same.
Because, honestly, because you would think about like one of the things I will have to agree with people about Libra is the indecisiveness. And so like him popping up like that,
Oh,
like, oh, da, da, da. I do see that. And that I think there's a downside of seeing the balance where like Gemini can see all parts but make a decision about their
yeah.
stance. Libra cannot.
And I think it's the fear, right? They're a cardinal sign. So I think it's the fear of starting something they feel they can't get out of.
Mm, well,
Because I have encountered many an indecisive Libra, but it's very much more of like your ability to be fair and to judge accordingly has been questioned forever
mhm,
because that is what people pleasing is, right? Is doubting your Ariesness of self to the point that's like, I need somebody else to affirm this decision for me. And
mhm.
so they are very indecisive and I've encountered flightiness as well.
Yes. Then most definitely, and crazily enough, I think, it goes back to their commitment, which makes them a little afraid of death. And I think that's why they have a lot of Libras who have or people who have prominent Libra um placements have hard times in relationships or trying to be in love. They're like scared to be in love.
Because it might feel like an ego death.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like the
And
idea of it, but not
mm-hmm.
necessarily the
Mm-hmm.
ugly parts. It's like I want
Mm-hmm.
to be in the honeymoon phase forever.
No, it's not life. But sorry to those Libra placements that may or may not have felt read. That is the reality.
Yeah, yeah. The relationship you have with yourself is more important than the relationships other people have made you feel are more important than you. And that is
Mhm.
what I will leave you with, Libra.
Now, you know who else? Well, another sign that does not get talked about a lot besides Libra is Sagittarius, I feel like.
Oh, but I see it. I see all the mess of Sagittarius, especially with all of these artists. They be eating them up.
Really?
Sagittarius leaders, um, a lot of artists that are Sagittarius, and so we of their and most of it is not good. As a Sagittarius, Cardi B's ex-husband, whatever his name is. Um, We have Jay-Z. We also know he is also a serial cheater. Um, I know I'm missing like 30 other niggas, but like y'all get it. Y'all get it. The difference is, do you alchemize your misdoings or do you continue yourself on the same loop? What is the philosophy you have about life and how are you acting according to it?
You know, as Sagittarius is the sister sign to Gemini, here's my beef. And I've talked about this before. They are ruled by Jupiter, but they limit themselves.
Because faith is the hardest thing to come by.
Well, I'm with you when you're right.
So let's talk about Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, but we have the two sides to Jupiter, right? Everyone's like, oh, it's so lucky and it's so,
But
oh,
it can be
it's good.
constricting
But
or too
X
much of something.
is a have so many possibilities in being no, right? And Sagittarius is meant to live life out to keep renewing the subscription to faith. That means you going through a lot of bullshit to be like, let me keep believing. Yeah, life is knocking you down to your knees to figure out is you gonna pray or are you gonna play God?
And that's the T. Cause I listen, I think people underestimate how big the ego of Sagittarius is, particularly Sagittarius suns and risings.
Mm-hmm.
Their ego, like people are, oh, it's confidence. I say, no, 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 no,
God
no.
provides
A
ego.
lot of times it is ego. Ego can be good because ego can help us like
Yeah,
conquer fear. But
yeah.
there's like everything is a shadow part, right? And I think one of the jokes I always say, I said a person, especially a Sagittarius sun, is always gonna feel like they put that shit on fashion wise. Then you look at they fit and you be like,
That's okay.
girl, please go sit down. Like, you know, and it's oh, it's okay. Like Sagittarius, for some reason, reminds me of Libra, or they like something about
Mm.
them is giving like they were sisters. All the Gemini and Sagittarius are sisters. Like, yeah, Gemini and Sagittarius are both yappers, but like they're more like fraternal twins than identical.
Listen, philosophy is also part of the ninth house. Self-righteousness is also part of the
Mhm.
ninth house. And when a Sagittarius believes that they are right, God can come down from earth and be like, you are wrong. And Sagittarius is like, tuh.
Watch. Um,
Yeah. So they can
sure.
get on their high horse
Mhm. Mhm.
and there's no one that will stop them from that. I think it's weird that Sagittarius is a mutable sign to me
Okay.
because they have a lot of things that feel almost fixed.
That's
They,
what I'm saying. Like
they can
they
be,
make themselves stubborn because
yeah.
they can easily get out of it. They do have a lot of negative self-fulfilling prophecy type like what is it called?
Mm,
Self sabotage. That's what they
mm,
have.
yes,
And
they
like, yeah, and it's crazy because so many of them are very smart,
protect.
like talented, but this self-sabotage that they do is crazy.
I think also is because Jupiter is so full to work out, it almost becomes maybe it's not even that they're self-limiting, but maybe that they're so confident that
Mm,
things will turn out fine that it becomes this self-sabotage, right?
mm,
Not preparing enough, not, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, everything will be great. And at some point, that does become a version of arrogance because, like, now
mhm.
I'm entitled and expecting my blessings 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And when those
Versus
don't,
working, like setting it
yeah,
up so they can flow easily. Yeah.
yeah, and it's not that they're not hardworking because they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's this weird, like, yeah, but things are gonna come my way the way they need to. But it's to the point where they blind their own self.
That's an
And it
interesting way to put
becomes
it.
like when it doesn't happen, it crumbles something within them.
Mm,
Because like you're so used to hope and optimism that when shit doesn't go how you expected and felt entitled and everything, I maybe that's the mutability.
you broke up a little bit at towards the end. I just heard like about the mutability. You broke up right before you said something about
Oh,
mutability. Mutability.
so this is where I think mutability is like extremes because I think most of the mutables we're just extreme. We're not pivoting. We're just all or nothing most of the time, to be quite honest. And I think this is Sagittarius's all or nothing.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
like either blind faith or self-limitation.
Listen, and I'm just like the
You can help for
way
this.
the way with Sagittarians, they be almost there
Right
with
there.
certain things, and then they just veer into more conservative thinking because it's like, oh, they realize they almost there, and they be like, that's uncomfortable. Let me go into what's like norm. And I just think about so many Sagittarius, especially sons, that I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and that's all I can say. That's all I can say. And, I'm like, I see how Gemini and Sagittarius are, how we're sister signs, but sometimes, mm,
Sometimes what are you doing? What are you doing?
stop embarrassing me.
I get it. You know, I've had to just like let them do what they're gonna do. Love them down. Love them down. I feel at home with.
Great travel partner. I will say that.
Oh, wonderful travel partners. And you get lucky when you travel with them.
Listen, great, 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 great travel partners.
But life, I don't know. So I
And
don't
you
know,
know
Dad.
what? I find them more sexual than
Ooh,
other
yeah,
signs. You would, oh, there's a, but I think
yeah.
Sagittarians, but I don't know if now that's where I believe like, yeah, sister sign of Gemini. Okay, listen, yeah,
Mhm,
we're the same
mhm,
in that regards.
mhm.
And so I think also for if you're like a Sag Venus, or I think that's an underestimation of that sign needs play, that planet needs play in sex. Um,
Mm.
and a chance to explore all things. And so if that is not up your alley, do not get with a heavy Sag placement who is open, right? Like suns and risings, they're iffy, but you get like a Sag Venus or Mars. I think you can do a little bit more play in the sex
I
area.
know what that's about.
You got some fun there.
That's interesting. They're very curious and they're very open. And you're gonna learn with a Sagittarius. You gonna learn one way or another. You gonna learn.
You gonna something, okay?
Start stop telling my business.
um
Who are we missing? Capricorn. Have we talked about Capricorn?
We've talked about them in like snapshots, but not
Mhm.
fully. I mean, think about play and fun. I think we did talk a little bit. I think we talked a little bit about Cancer and and Capricorn like snippets. But to me, I was like I said, Capricorn, they get bad reps. They are resources. They're like, oh, I have to work hard. No, you have to work smart. I think I
It does,
yelled
yeah.
at the Capricorn women
Mhm.
about marrying beneath them.
Please don't do that. It's
So many of them do. My God, you are a queen.
Libra. Yeah, getting ease. That is not the person.
Child. Your father is Saturn. Okay. Please marry above you. Thank you. And that's really, and that's not even, I see more Capricorn women because of like society, right?
Yeah.
And
Indoctrination.
correct. Of wanting to help versus like your mate should be the person who is feeding
Exalting you.
money and resources into you so you can
Mhm.
continue to amplify. Um, and people get the bad, no, they get the bad rep, but they work, work, work. But like these people are funny.
Thoughtful. They're funny. They're thoughtful. They give great gifts. They will work through some really difficult stuff with you. They don't got time to show up to everything. But if they got to show up, they will be there and on time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's
Mm-hmm.
just the reality of the things. You are part of their list of priorities. You may not be the priority,
But you at least you're on a list.
but
You
you're
could
on
you
their
could
list.
not be, you know?
You had to
Listen.
be their life. So provide care and ease. Give nurturing treat to the family because they haven't been able to do that for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They need a nurturer. Um,
Scorpio, Taurus.
yeah, well, we talked about Scorpio last time. I wrote it down, but we didn't talk about Taurus.
So let's talk about Taurus. I'm very biased, so if you want to start with anything, you can go ahead.
I think we okay. Okay. I
Do
think
you
I,
have anything?
I think last time I was like a Taurus taught me about like love letters and everything. I fool with Taurus heavy,
Hmm.
even with my disdain and not best of luck with them in a romance area. I still give them respect
Okay. Okay.
as
Okay.
long as you don't get on my nerves. See, now what I do have a beef with Taurus.
Hmm.
Some of them have like it's not really a beef. It's not really a beef. It's just an observation. The sensory prop. Do you have you
Yes.
the sensory problems
Yes.
and Taurus?
Yes.
But I'm like, are you okay?
No.
No.
Why is environment not quality and comfort for me? Why? Why am I in abject poverty with the vibes? That literally Taurus don't like nothing that don't feel good. They're ruled by Venus, y'all. They don't want your rayon. They don't want your viscose. Okay? They want things that feel good, sometimes to a detriment.
The
And that's
shopping
the reality.
habit
That's
that
who
could
I like to go
happen.
shopping.
Listen, they are very good fashion people sometimes. I met some tourists that be like, what's going on? What's your other placements?
But also, are they depressed?
Correct.
Because
And I think a lot of people do not understand this. If you have a Taurus sun or a Taurus moon and they're not living in their full comfort, they are going to be depressed.
yes,
They're going to be depressed, point blank, period.
the biggest thing for Taurus placements is the fear of scarcity.
Let me tell you something. Absolutely. I have a Mars in Taurus.
Yes. And
Okay.
so most times Taurus placements have some form of comfort and material wealth and it is taken, or they've never experienced it. And once they get to it, they're not going back.
Listen, my South Node, my Lilith, and my Mars is in Taurus, y'all. All conjunct each other, like playing like this. Like, hey, triplets, listen, when I tell you that right there is a real thing, the scarcity thing.
Very real.
And for some reason, it's one of the things I've learned with having a Mars and Taurus, don't make me angry. Like, I have seen a Taurus sun get angry to the point of fighting.
Terrible.
They would try to end you. And as a Mars and Taurus, you better let me walk away.
All the Tauruses that I know, once they get angry, I just move out the way and wait till they stop fighting. Let me get your backpack.
Like,
I'm gonna be
I
over here making sure they don't call the police because I can't do nothing for you. I'm not getting in the middle. I'm
that bull is real.
because you took a long time to piss this person off and you kept doing it. It's your ass now.
Good luck. Like, I had an ex that was everybody loves him. He is, a smaller guy, skinnier guy.
Don't
This
sleep.
man was cockstrong. Got mad one day. I walked away. My dude still
I ain't got nothing to do here. I gotta go. Safety life. I'm choosing.
you keep seeing, yeah, most people are used to like Tauruses being like happy and like
And they are. But they're also
that's a facade.
suppressing a lot
Mm-hmm.
of shit that they're
Mm-hmm.
receiving
Mm-hmm.
because they want to be like too. They're ruled by Venus. They want
Mm-hmm.
to feel good. They want people to make them feel good. Howsoever, they're gonna let shit slide because they're like, I love this person. I'm gonna let this shit slide.
Child.
But then they done let shit slide so much that it was the last straw. And you didn't realize it was the last straw because they were still kiki king with you. But why would you devalue me by continually disrespecting?
Listen, clock it. Listen. So I think Taurus, well, I think all our signs are very much so lovers, right?
Mhm.
And so that is where, they'll love you and like you to their detriment till they mad, pissed off, and out of nowhere you like, why did this person start swinging? I'm like, well,
What I will say about Taurus is two things. They are loyal also to a detriment. Learn
correct.
to
Ooh.
leave. Learn to leave. Learn to leave.
And Taurus, I want to say this as well. All your friends are not for you.
Very
Every Taurus sun, especially Taurus sun that is a male, their other male friends have influenced them to where their relationships fail. I have seen this on at least four Taurus sun males. Like you
wow.
have messed up something because you have listened to the hater ass friends around you because you're loyal.
Ooh, so many hater ass friends actually. Yes.
Please, Taurus sons, please look at all the people around you. Are they growing? If they're still in the same place as before when y'all met 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but your life
Leave,
is getting better and theirs is not,
leave
that
people.
friend may be what's going to F you over in relationships, jobs, whatever. I don't know what it is, but I just thought about that. I was like,
Yeah,
actually,
Venus, like that's also Venus, right?
that's true.
Venus is yeah, it's love and beauty or whatever, but Venus is also strategic and revenge and a hater. So all of them people are not your friends. and you know it, do not keep them around.
But it goes back to Taurus being stubborn and not liking change because it's more fixed.
I will raise you stubbornness and say it's not necessarily just the lack of change. They love consistency.
Absolutely.
They love the monster that they know and not the one that they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They are determined and they're so like I think it's more tunnel vision than it is stubbornness.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you give them a new perspective, they move from behind the wall and they're like, oh, I can move from behind this wall.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't give them a good reason on why and let them sit with it,
And they
they're
have to want to sit with
going,
it.
yes. And sometimes oh, this is how, sometimes you got to tell them clear, concisely, this is what the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
You sit with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they gotta be ready to listen.
Yeah, like,
And
change is not their favorite, but they're not incapable of change. It's just why fix something if it ain't broke? But sometimes you're overlooking what is broken.
they will do that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
but I love them down. I'm here for many, not all Taurus people. Uh, some of you bitches are dumb.
Listen. Be
Because
like, okay, go on about my business.
right, we're gonna
If
hear
if
this
you are a
comment
Taurus and you don't
twice.
have any Gemini placements, I don't think I can trust you. But most of y'all do. So clap for y'all.
No further comments, Your Honor.
I do want to say we didn't really discuss too much on Cancer last time. We kind of like talked about them a little bit, but I think
Mhm.
a quick thing about Cancer's boundaries.
And beyond boundaries is you need to mother yourself.
Okay, mother yourself.
From your flow, you are not here to be a meet. You are here to heal your mother wounds.
United States
The
of
love
America.
period.
The biggest cancer of
Um,
all.
exactly. Exactly. A lot of the issues with the archetype of the mother are things that need healing within the self.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ultimate healer, empath. But that does not mean you always pour into other people. It's the waste of your time.
It's a waste of your time, and then you grow resentful.
Mm-hmm. Because you people please. And like,
Why are you doing that?
be for real.
You're
And
in it
stop
for
saying
people.
sorry. My God.
Mm. Yeah, that be aggravating me. I hate women saying sorry. You're existing. Please stop apologizing for existing. I know people made you feel that way,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
eventually it's up to you to decide if you no longer want to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
It
Cancers
comes
have
with
way
like
more power than they think they do.
they're like you're literally the moon. You can do everything. You can do what you want. Sometimes it's good to keep your shell on. Sometimes it's good to stab somebody with your pincers.
I think also a thing I keep seeing with cancers is that they feel as though they can only heal in relationships, which is interesting. I
Ooh.
think Cancer rules the fourth house, but it's like
Yeah.
a family and foundation. Like you are the home,
Mm-hmm.
but they think they can only make home with others or
Or
within
out of
romantic
others.
relation. Huh?
Or out of others, right? I
Yeah.
feel at home with this person, and the whole time it's you learning how to feel at home with yourself.
Mm-hmm. That projection on yourself to another person, and that is
Mhm.
when you can get lost
Yeah.
in.
If yeah,
And I don't I it's interesting because I see Cancer placements. I mean, even listen, I have a Cancer Venus in Mercury, right?
no comment.
I My placements are a little different being a Scorp rising, but so my cancerness works a little different. But I think for them, a lot of times they, especially I do see this a lot with Cancer sons, especially men,
Mhm.
period. Like, and I do see some of this in Cancer placements. If they have a like a stellium, no
Mm,
matter the gender, they will be like in a relationship back to back. It's like not necessarily knowing how to be alone because they're trying to find home in others and other things versus finding home within themselves and nurturing their mother wound. Makes sense. Matriarch, moon, foundations, home, fourth house. And so it is very interesting to witness this as a person, to how my Cancer placements are set up. Um, doesn't necessarily do that. Like, oh, you can't make your home at this place. I Because of where my fourth house is lit up. Uh, I find out the home is myself.
mhm.
But for other Cancer placements, that's harder for them, especially when they want to help and heal the world. I'm like, baby, do it yourself. The world starts with you. You are the first altar. It's just so interesting.
Um, what I will say to that is their emotional needs that happens when a Cancer placement is growing up. And
Hmm.
so they know is that there needs to be a version of usefulness in order to get nurtured back. And
Mm-hmm.
so being useful is replaced as instead of doing the internal work. It's easier to heal others
Mm-hmm.
instead of myself because why would I heal myself? And so it's this like weird,
Well, that's not. I didn't think that was. But you know, that's kind of like my beef with Virgos. Sometimes,
yes,
like Virgos can say like, "This is what's wrong with you. Let me help you." Baby, your room is also a mess. Don't try to come and clean mine.
it's so much easier to see.
Right?
And
And
it's also in Virgo fashion, it's we actually need help, but we rather our version of asking for help is helping somebody else. And
yeah,
then, it doesn't quite come across the way we need it to. And so I think that's also why sometimes rub cancers the wrong way because it's like I see we are the same.
right. And Cancer's like, yeah, and I can feel you being weird. Step back. Like Cancer's like, I can feel
It's
you
like
being weird, and Virgo's like, well, I can see it. Like yeah, you guys' type of helping is different.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because like, oh, we can put in systems, and cancer's like hugs.
I can feel that. Like I need to feel that that's where that needs to go.
Yeah.
Like,
And so, but what I will say that my beef has been with cancer placements is that a lot of them don't like being held accountable for their decisions.
the only time I've seen Cancer placements be accountable first after Saturn return,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
or if Cancer is sitting in their 12th house,
Oh, I see.
because they're forced to be in isolation
Mm.
because they have to sit with self in
Yeah.
order to exude the Leo rising of the first house
Mm-hmm.
and shine. You have to be home in order to be the bad bitch of the Leo rising. Like,
Yes. And we're in this invisible. I think that's the struggle of him. It's hard to be a person outside of being a mother. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think the way our society is set up does a disservice to cancer placements because everything tells you do more, be less of yourself, make yourself
Mm-hmm.
smaller. And so it can be difficult to kind of break out of that. You have to like really fight for it.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's a double-edged sword when it comes to Cancer men.
Yes.
Absolutely, because they will most definitely overextend for some stuff like that they didn't need to do,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they become like fathers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and so learning to take care of self is hard for them, or not to be people pleasers, or
Mm-hmm.
it's very hard, I see, for Cancer men to love on themselves in a way that is nurturing their own mother wounds. And
Yeah.
like they sit on two extremes with either they like I was in a relationship or being a womanizer, or they're like celibate for years and years. It's very interesting to see that. And I mostly see that with Cancer men.
Yes. To all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Misogyny, themselves and being in nurturing friendships and relationships the way they deserve.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Hopefully,
Mm.
hopefully people have learned some things.
Listen, I hope so. I hope we have humanized the signs a little bit more. What did we miss? Right? What say you about your own sign, about signs you love or don't love? Right? Um, let us see. Holla at us, tell us the things.
Yeah. And let us know what you want us to talk about. Like we have a list.
We do.
We have
We
a
do.
list. But what else do you
What
guys want us to talk about? It's
what
a major things coming up, so I'm pretty sure
we
y'all
got?
got ideas.
Some transits, some eclipses, some
So
many things. But that is what we got for you this time. Hope you enjoyed it. Um,
be sure to like, subscribe, comment, whatever, depending on the platform you're hearing this on. Subscribe, comment, YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, share, all
tell a
that cute
homie
stuff.
you're with a stranger. Uh,
Hmm.
depending on, hey, let's watch this together. I don't know. I don't know what y'all into, but word of mouth, it goes far. I'm also what we got. What kind of church announcements? I will be doing the this eclipse in Virgo reading very soon because I don't know if it's gonna take your girl out, y'all. So I'ma just
Oh, good luck. I already did mine. I was like, oh,
so I'll be doing readings on the YouTube at AstroMusings very soon.
yeah. I think by the time this is posted, we'll be heading to the
Yeah,
next eclipse. So that
yeah.
should be also that
Stay tuned
may
for that one. If
that
you didn't
eclipse.
see the last one, well, the thing about eclipses is that they last at like minimum 6 months. So
Mhm.
like y'all got time.
Yeah, March to October. It's normally the gate, the open portal.
September actually
Yeah,
because the
September. Yeah,
next moon in Virgo that is also eclipsed.
is that your B day this year?
I don't know what's gonna happen for my astrological. I hope it goes better for all of y'all out there. Holla at your girl, put a comment, talk to us, and we will see you in the next conversation of Astro and Negro. I guess we'll bring our like little song back when we get to
Oh
like the
yeah.
real, the nitty gritty. That's how you'll know we're getting into some nitty gritty.
I like that. I like that. I like it. All right, y'all. See y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.